Ahoy, pirates, landlubbers, and scurvy dogs. Welcome to this week's video on how to make a book presentation. The book I have chosen this week to present and to show you how to present is How I Became a Pirate by not by David Shannon, by Melinda Long, and then it's illustrated by David Shannon. So I just wanted to tell you all the criteria that goes into a book presentation, and then I will go ahead and do my book presentation like I normally would. So let's pop over here. Okay, so book presentations, you will do 2 during the semester, 1 before the midterm and 1 after. So just so you know, you won't be doing it each week. I will. You'll get to see me every week, but you won't have to do it every week. Okay, so it has to be 4 to 6 minutes. It can go a little longer. I recommend that you don't go 15 minutes. People start to lose interest. And there are 4 components that must go into a book presentation. And the 4 things that I look for when I'm grading. The first one is the genre and the classification. So you select your book, and in my case, How I Became a Pirate. And then I have to decide what genre it goes into. And this one is a picture book. So, but you don't just get to say, hey, it's a picture book. Perfect. No, you come over to iLearn right here, and you go to L2.2, and you scroll down, and you click on this, and this gives you the criteria for all of the genres that we study this semester. Now, a genre is when a book is written, it is always placed in a category. So a big portion of what we're learning this semester is putting those books into categories. So no matter what you're evaluating, you can click on picture book, and you go through these criteria, and you talk about if this book falls into all of these categories, or if it does. Like, does this appeal to children? Yes. Is the theme worthwhile? You decide. You know, all of these criteria don't have to apply to this, but we can use them to talk about it and discuss it. So it's not only that, you will use these criteria for evaluating anything of all of the books for the papers that we write and the book presentations. This is also in your content. So when we study picture books, it'll be right there that you can see it in the content. Or when we study modern fantasy, these are the things that you have to talk about. Is it consistent? Does it suspend belief? Does it have details? Those are all things that you have to recognize when you're evaluating a book. So the next thing you need to do is analyze the story. Tell us about the story. And I'll do that when I do my book presentation in just a moment. And then tell us your favorite things. I love this part because people love different things about different books, and it's interesting to get to see those things. And the 4th thing is have a nice presentation. Don't roll out of bed one day and just come present. Act as if you are going to be presenting to us in the classroom. We're all going to watch it and hopefully enjoy it. Make it an enjoyable experience for us. Have fun, be creative. And like I said, all the resources are in L2.2. A thing that I am experimenting with, I started halfway through the semester last year, and I'm starting at the beginning of the semester, is those 4 criteria is what I grade on, and I am unable to change the content of our class. But I feel like one of the things that would be very beneficial to you as students is to think about how you can then use this book with children. One of the things too is they actually spring this question on you in the midterm, and it's something that we don't discuss a whole lot. So what I would love, and like I said, it's not necessary because it's not in the course, but I would love for you to bring up ways that you can use this book with children. And these are some ways that I'll get to when I present. So analyze the story. Your job is to decide if it fits into a particular genre. Like I said, you'll use this technique with the papers that we write and the book presentations. Will every book have every criteria? No. Will every book fit exactly into a genre? No. It's possible that it won't. So tell us why or why not it doesn't. Why it doesn't fit or why it does. Last but not least, the thing your video presentation is not, it is not reading the book to us, especially, well, you can only do this with picture books, but we don't want to sit and listen to you just read a book for 10 minutes. That's not the point of the exercise. The exercise is you can tell us a little bit about the plot, but it really is analyzing the story using the criteria, okay? So let's go ahead. I'm going to keep it right here for a minute while I do my video presentation. And I know it'll be a little smaller than usual because it's in this little thing. But this is where you can see what I would do. Okay, so this is how I became a pirate. And this is one of my all-time favorite picture books. I love it. Absolutely love it. And it's about a little boy who is... he's building sandcastles, and along comes a pirate, and they offer him a job to be their, quote, digger. So he just ups and leaves the beach that his parents are, his parents are a little distracted, and he goes, oh, they won't mind if I leave. So he becomes a pirate, and he goes and learns how to be a pirate for, it seems like about a few hours. But this book definitely appeals to children. Who doesn't want to go on adventures? And this is like a safe adventure. And I do feel like it does have some stereotypes, even though there are multiple color of skin represented here. The only female in the whole story is this one picture of his mom. So I do think there's some stereotypes, but I think it really appeals to children. The illustrations are awesome, and they definitely enhance the book. Without it, it wouldn't be my favorite book because the illustrations are my favorite part. I'll show you some of my favorite. Like, I love this one where they're all on the boat and they're going out to their big ship, and here's Jeremy Jacobs right here, and you can just tell he is just in heaven. So the typography, and that's one of the things you talk about in picture books is the typography. And what I love about this is, so the pirate talks, but whenever his crew shouts back, it uses this typography, and it's a little different, it's a little off kilter, and it's super fun because as I read to children, I always do that in my pirate accent, which is super fun. So one of my favorite illustrations is this one right here. I just love it. As you can see, there's all these guys, and it's as if we are looking from Jeremy Jacobs' perspective, and that's the little boy. So I love that they're all looking down on him because he's got an idea on how he can save the ship. But what I love about it is they go on this adventure, and he's so excited. He learns how to speak pirate, and they don't make him brush his teeth. But he also realizes at this point that being a pirate isn't all it's cracked up to be. They won't tuck him in or read him a story, and so he feels like he's missing out on some things that he would have at home. So I think that that's kind of the theme of the story is, yes, it's fun to have adventures, but sometimes adventures aren't all they're cracked up to be. So those are my favorite features of the book is the illustrations, and those illustrations that I showed you. And the typography I think is super fun. So that would be my book presentation. I also, like I said, I want to start doing what you could do it with children. So these are some things that I came up with that you could do with children. You could have them write their own adventure story where they are somewhere just normal and not out of the ordinary when all of a sudden they have an adventure. You could talk about where you would bury treasure because that is what he does. He tells them that he has a perfect place to bury his treasure, and it's just in his backyard, which is super cute. You could make a sandcastle. You could look up the places mentioned in here, even though he just says Bora Bora and the Spanish Main, which those, it doesn't even make sense why they would be where they, in the United States. But look up the places mentioned and then talk about maybe some geography of where pirates used to sail. And that is the wrong kind of sail, I just noticed. Okay, anyway. Look up the climate of those places, and in it he teaches the pirates how to play soccer. So what would you teach a pirate? What would be your favorite thing then that you could teach a pirate? So that is basically a book presentation, and you noticed I did not read the book to you. But so keep that in mind. Be creative, have fun, because these really are fun, and I do them every single week, and I love them. So I think it's super fun to see all the books that people like. I would also recommend not picking a book that you know everybody loves, like the I'll Love You Forever and the Wemmicks, that book. I get people present those all the time, and it seems like, maybe look out of the ordinary and find something that is a little different than you might think. So I am so excited to see your book presentations and to be able to see what you have already read and what you will be reading in the future. So I will see you later.